Hello, community! I know you love our dance moves when we begin our videos. We're the Freemans, and we're so excited to be here today with 30 Days of Conscious Partnership. Can't believe we're already halfway there. If you haven't met us, we're the Freemans, authors, speakers, social entrepreneurs, and what we say is ambassadors for partnerships thriving physically, financially, and spiritually. We truly believe couples can be thriving in all three of those areas. And today is special because it's Aaron's birthday!
Come on! Happy birthday to me!
And I know he wouldn't want to do anything except talk about what we're passionate about, talk about partnership. So what's the topic today?
So it's about being in business together as a couple, and not everyone is in business together. And one of the things we want to start to talk about is the points that we're going to share about having a vision, about living in your zone of genius and filling your cup first. By that process alone, you may develop some sort of business, whether it's for a secondary income, maybe it's residual income, maybe it's just something for your own contribution. But this is naturally how businesses should be created and birthed, if you will, into the world. And you can do that just by starting this inside of your partnership. So, first point we want to talk about is why we create purposeful partnerships and the difference between what a relationship is and a purposeful partnership. And that is, much like a business, which has a mission and a vision statement, is to create a vision for your partnership.
And it's really, really key that you take this on because, again, we're speaking if you're in business together or desiring to become in business, and you can apply this really to any relationship. But without a vision, if you form a business, it can very easily become hard. It can start to feel like work. And that's when couples are like, even think, I could not be in business with my partner. Or they start to, and they start to ask things like, can we have work-life balance? Because they feel out of balance. What's probably happening is they don't have a collaborative vision. People try to just form a business because it's going to make money. We'll do this because it makes money. And you know what? That doesn't feel good for very long. So when you have that collaborative vision, which if you don't know how to do that, we talk about it in our book. We have other Facebook Lives about this. We talk about this in many, many things, including our blog. So you can check that out, book, whatever resource you desire, because there's a formula you can work through to create your vision statement. And that's where you are both working towards something powerful. You're not just sitting down, okay, let's sit in the office and let's work today.
Well, let's forget the word business for a second. I want you to think about doing and being every single day something that you love to do, something that comes easy to you, something that contributes to other people's lives, and the just overwhelming joy you can get from that, doing that with your partner and having that flow, energy, and abundance in the form of money into your life. That's what we're talking about business. Mm-hmm. So forget whatever you think about a business is. That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So the second point really is staying in your zone of genius and, first of all, discovering your zone of genius. Now, that's really that first part I talked about. You know, what is it that you love to do? We did a live already before about you can be in the zone of incompetence, competence, excellence, and that's really a place where we all find that there's something that we're very good at. There's something that we get acknowledgement and accolades for. We probably produce a good income from, and yet it's like that juice of life is missing. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's kind of a tough place to find the zone of genius, is because we get into a comfortable place. The zone of excellence produces results. But imagine if life came so much easier, you felt alive, fully fulfilled, and living inside of your purpose. That's what your zone of genius should feel like. Mm-hmm. So to ask yourself the question, what are the activities, who am I being, and from that, what am I doing that I just absolutely love to do? And mostly comes down to this, where you ask other people, let's say my zone of genius, mine is speaking. Right, and it's like all of a sudden you start talking to people where people say public speaking is really hard, it's difficult, I get really nervous, I can't do it. And you may look at someone and say, oh, I didn't even realize that was tough for other people. Because it comes so naturally, so easy as a part of your talents, your unique ability, and your strengths and your skill sets that you don't even realize that it's necessarily tough for other people. Mm-hmm. That's your zone of genius. And you want to start to follow that experience to what those actions and those activities are to stay in your zone.
And it's so what this might sound like when you're not in the zone of genius is we talk to couples in business together, and I remember being on a podcast and hearing the couple say, "Oh, well, I'm this financial officer," and it's like, "Do you enjoy that?" "No." "So why are you doing that?" "One of us has to." No, when you're in business together, one of the reasons couples end up not having fun doing it together, it starts to cause stress, it starts to bleed into your date night, is because you're doing things out of your zone of genius. You're trying to be a financial officer when you aren't good at finances, or you're trying to be a marketer when you're not good at marketing. It is powerful to outsource what you're not good at, or what you don't even enjoy. And that's where it's a whole, we could go into that conversation even deeper as to how money flows when there's no resistance, but too many couples are trying to be in these roles that don't fit them because they think they have to. So be in your zone of genius, find that, outsource what you can that's not in alignment. Third point for couples in business together is
filling your own cup first, and that not something selfish, and we're not talking about like only focusing on yourself. When we say fill your own cup, we're talking about, this is really a spiritual perspective. This really is about connecting to that which alivens you, lights you up, has you get into a beautiful state, and to start there and get yourself into a position where you are always and constantly can be in a beautiful state from the beginning of the day. That's what we mean by fill your own cup. Because if you're operating at a low energy level, if you're frustrated, if you have anxiety, if you have anger, resentment, any one of those things, that is a suffering type of state. And it doesn't matter the actions that you take, because being in that state, you're not going to attract the people, you're not going to attract the money, you're not going to attract the abundance, you're not going to attract the other like vibrations that you want to attract for yourself, for your partner, for your business in a low energy state. So you have to fill your cup first.
Absolutely. So that could look like go for a run, meditate, pray. Sometimes this morning we were jumping up and down, getting energized. That's something Tony Robbins is all about, and we saw him last week. It could be writing. It could be calling a friend to really have a high vibe conversation. It could be reading the Bible. It could be reading another book that really inspires you. But there's no point in entering into business activities if you aren't full. It creates so much resistance. It's difficult, and that's when Aaron and I don't do that, it's a more difficult day for us. There might be that like kind of, "Ugh, why aren't you doing this?" or the little chatter. But when we fill our cup, it's worth that time investment. So do what you need to do to fill your cup, and you really will be even better in business together. So again, we're speaking to all of you really in any relationship. If you're in business together, desire to be in business, we have more resources in our book. We talk more about this, our podcast, our blog. We love talking about this concept because we love being in business together. There's a lot to learn in that.
And lastly, I want you to go back to what I said about a business. I don't want any of you to think that you have to create an organization, get an office, have employees. There's literally so many ways to be in business together. And if you just follow this model for your life, if you discover your partnership vision, if you discover and stay in your zone of genius, and if you fill your own cup, then naturally out of that you will find new opportunities that maybe nobody is doing, that's so easy for you. It becomes a business or a stream of income, or really just a channel for you to receive financial abundance from a place you never had planned. So really that business mentality, I don't want you to think of business like from a traditional standpoint. You may discover something that no one else has ever done before, which is another secret that Jocelyn and I are going to be sharing at the end of this 30 days of conscious partnership, because we discovered something extra for ourselves. It's not being done out there. It's perfectly suited for what we're here for, and that is going to be a new business for us.
Yeah, really excited. So again, we love connecting with you all. Stay connected. Like this page if you haven't already. Find us on our website. We really love to hear from you. Ask any questions, and we will talk to you tomorrow on the next day.
Happy birthday to me!
Yeah, happy birthday to Mr. Freeman. All right, bye guys.